1. Introduction. As of 2023, when space travel opened to the private sector, drinking alcohol in space is a dream for many people. As of 2023, drinking alcohol is officially prohibited on the International Space Station. However, the private sector is gradually working on drinking alcohol in space, and ASTRAX is developing its service in light of the growing need for drinking alcohol in space. There are many types of alcoholic beverages in the world, including beer, wine, whiskey, tequila, shochu, sake, vodka, and brandy, but this paper will focus on beer, which ASTRAX is developing for consumption in space. 2. Drinking beer on Earth. There are several ways to drink beer on Earth. 1. Directly from the bottle. 2. Directly from the can. And 3. By pouring it into a beer mug. In Japan in particular, lager-type beers are preferred, and the optimal beer temperature is said to be 4 to 8 degrees Celsius. Pour into a relatively heavy glass mug. The mug should also be chilled. And this is my preference. Originally popularized by a Japanese beer company on its own, but I like my beer to be 7-3 liquid to foam, and the foam to be fine-grained. 3. Beer experiments in previous zero gravity. In the past, some organizations have experimented with drinking beer in a zero-gravity state using a zero-gravity aircraft. In 2007, a popular Japanese TV personality tried to drink beer in a zero-gravity condition in one such experiment. At that time, he opened a can of beer in zero gravity and was unable to drink or pour the beer because all the contents kept blowing out as foam. In 2017, on the other hand, an Australian company, Vostok, developed a bottle that prevents all beer liquid from turning into foam, and experimented with drinking beer through a straw from that bottle with success. 4. Previous beer experiments in space. To date, there is no record of any experiments on drinking beer in space. However, as of 2023, the University of Colorado and Sapporo Breweries, Limited, of Japan have conducted experiments to bring yeast and barley, which are essential for beer production, into space to see how they behave differently on the ground and in space. Companies such as Budweiser are developing beer for drinking on Mars in preparation for migration to Mars. 5. Problems with drinking beer in space. There are many problems with drinking beer in space, especially in zero gravity. As mentioned in Section 2, when you try to pour beer into a beer mug, as soon as you open the cork, all the contents start to bubble up like when you open the cork of a champagne bottle, and they will continue to bubble up until the contents are gone. When this happens, you cannot pour it into the mug as you would when it is on the ground. You need to think about how to separate the beer foam from the liquid and the tools to pour the beer. Also, even if you could pour beer into a mug, the surface tension of the mug would be so strong that the beer would not be able to travel down the sides of the mug and into your mouth when you tilt the mug. Furthermore, there is currently no equipment to cool things like refrigerators in spacecraft. If you end up drinking beer that is warm and fresh, it will ruin the beer. We need to think about cooling and keeping beer cool in the future. 6. What is being done in ASTRAX? ASTRAX is under preparation to bring a space beer that can be drunk in space to the world. We designed a special label to represent a beer bottle for space use and produced a label, prototype, to fit the size of the designated bottle. The surface of the label has a glossy finish with film. We also created the shape, 10 cm by 15 cm, to fit the size of the specified bottle. The color is a gradient finish with a deep blue color. 6:1, Space Beer Label Prototype Development. In creating the label, we held several meetings and coordinated via email regarding the direction of the design in consultation with Space Wa Mama, Sakai Kashi Brewery, Yasui Shoten, and ASTRAX. Based on the results of these discussions, a professional partner for label production was selected, and a label design and label creation policy was determined. 6-2. Space beer mug prototype development. We developed a prototype beer mug for drinking beer in space. The development was based on the technology of beverages for astronauts to drink on the International Space Station, shape that takes into account surface tension and capillary flow, etc. And the development of cocktail glasses for space use that ASTRAX had previously tested in prototypes and experiments, such as the demonstration of a cocktail glass for space use in our zero-gravity flight. In a zero-gravity environment, the shape of a beer mug on the ground makes it impossible to drink well from the mug because the liquid clings to the mug wall due to surface tension. Therefore, it is necessary to create a shape that takes advantage of the capillary phenomenon, capillary flow. Therefore, based on the technology of beverages for astronauts to drink on the International Space Station, space food, shapes that take into account surface tension and capillary flow, and our past experience and technology in developing cocktail glasses for space use, including demonstration tests of cocktail glasses for space use during zero-gravity flights. We have created two types of drinking tools. One is a beer mug filled with a straw for drinking beer on the ground, using capillary action. And the other is a glass shape for drinking espresso in space. 7. Discussion and future. Space beer mugs are made by lining the inside of the mug with a straw-like substance. It is assumed that surface tension and capillary action, capillary flow, of the laid straw will make it easier for the beer to flow to the mouth part of the mug. If you are trying to drink in a place where there is gravity on the ground, you can drink with less force by sucking from directly above. This is a little different from the way we drink on the ground, where we tilt the beer mug and pour the beer into our mouths, but we think it is possible to drink beer with a closer appearance. As for the glass, ASTRAX developed it on its own with reference to the cups used for drinking coffee in space. The glass is heat processed to make it thinner overall and slightly wider around the mouth for a better feel around the mouth. As with the space beer mug, we believe that this also makes use of surface tension and capillary action, capillary flow, to suck beer from the mouth part of the drinking cup, allowing the beer to run down the side of the glass and be drunk. We will conduct verification experiments using this space beer mug and glass in a zero-gravity airplane in the future. Although not a beer, French company is working with Axiom Space to develop a champagne that can be drunk in space. The champagne will be poured from a special bottle into a glass shaped like a shot glass. The experiment will be tested during an Axiom Space spacecraft launch mission in the near future. In the summer of 2023, an experiment was conducted in Japan using ASTRAX's zero-gravity airplane service to drink tea from ordinary wine glasses on the ground. The tea poured into the wine glass became a large spherical mass of liquid and floated away in the zero-gravity. The sphere of tea hit the experimenter's face and shattered in mid-air, making it difficult to put it in the mouth and drink it. 8. Conclusion. ASTRAX is developing space beer in response to requests to drink beer in space just as we drink it on the ground. The idea is to pour beer that has been chilled well into a mug or glass so that the ratio of beer liquid to foam is 7:3, and drink it from the beer mug or glass. By creating a concrete image in this way and making it possible to realize that image, we will create a service that will be necessary for many people to play an active role in space in the future. Many steps still need to be taken before space beer can be drunk in space. ASTRAX will continue to develop space beer and contribute to the development of services that many people are demanding.